Today we're going to be doing a poached pear galette, little individual portions for Valentine's Day. The first step is to grab a pear and a peeler, and what we're going to be doing is poaching it. Just twisting off. I like to remove the skin before I poach it. And I'm using Bartlett pears because they have great texture, hold up to cooking, and have a nice moderate sweetness. The D'Anjou's get a little bit sweet. Kind of want to stay away from those. Almost there. Alright, so we've peeled the whole thing. Now I'm just taking my knife, cutting it straight in half. I'm going to go in and remove a small part of the stem and all the seeds. Just like that. Come in here. As long as you get most of it, they'll usually peel right out. Sometimes it takes a couple passes. There it goes. Pops on out. Do that to both of these bad boys here. Go. About that. Here I've got some white wine, and I've just brought it up to about 200 degrees. So we've got 1 bottle of white wine and about a half a cup of sugar in here, and we're going to be using this liquid to poach the pear. I'm throwing 1 bay leaf, 5 or 6 pieces of fresh clove, and then 1 star anise. And the trick is to have a nice aroma and flavor without getting too spicy. Otherwise it just takes over. Just dip these guys in here. And they're going to poach on low heat for about 5 minutes. While our pears are poaching, we're going to make our sauce and then a glaze to put over the galette as it's cooking. So I've got some eggs, separating the yolks and the whites. I just use my hand to do that. Great. So I've got 3 yolks. I'm going to set this aside for later. I've got 3 yolks here, and this is about a 1/4 cup of sugar. Go right in there. I'm going to whisk it. Get it nice and together, nice and emulsified. I'm going to bring it over, use the same pan that I'm cooking the pears in. I've got some good tawny pork here. Then I'm making what's called zimbaglione. That's going to be for the plate. So all I'm doing is really cooking the eggs, getting them frothy, and then adding small amounts of the tawny at a time. Keeping to ensure I want it really nice and thick before I add any more of the liqueur to it. A little bit lighter in color, more pale yellow color, and frothier. Alright, so I'm going to add about a tablespoon of the tawny. I'm going to keep whisking and let it get thick one more time. So we're starting to get thick again. A little bit more tawny. And now this process happens pretty quick. We're starting to get a nice rich red color. Some Valentine. Alright, pull it off. It's got great color. I'm going to add just a little bit of butter to it. I'm going to stir it in. Great. Now we're all incorporated, and I'm just going to set it aside and hold it for later in a refrigerator. Alright, our pears are done poaching. We're just going to pull them out and let them cool now. They're nice and soft, but not falling apart. We're going to put them in the refrigerator and let them cool for a while. Alright, so now we're going to make our dough for our poached pear galette. A pound of butter. Sorry, a half a pound of butter. We're going to just cut it up to nice 1-inch cubes. Okay, 2 cups of flour here. Just combine all of them together. Just a pinch of salt. Take them, get them well covered in flour, and take them between your hands and smash them. Once they're all smashed into these little chips, kind of come, put a little more flour on top, and smash them again. You want nice little, tiny, really flexible, thin chips. All right, now that we've gotten to that state, we're going to add about a half cup of ice water. We're going to very carefully mix them. We don't want to incorporate them together, we want them to be very separate. So it's going to become a loose, pretty shaggy dough, and we're going to refrigerate it for about an hour. Alright, so our dough's been resting for about an hour. We're going to pull it out of the refrigerator and work it a little bit. There we are, a wet, shaggy dough. I'm going to take it together, knead it, and fold it until it becomes one. And it should look really dry. Don't worry, it'll come together. There we go. We're going to go back in the refrigerator. We're going to do our final rolling in about 20 minutes. So here's our final dough. It's rested again for 20 more minutes. It's nice and firm. Separation, good separation between the butter and the flour. Cut it open, you can see the different shades. All we're going to do now is just roll it out with the rolling pin. I'm making individual little galettes, so I only need to roll a little bit out I'll cut it. And I can just fold this back together again and make more galettes later. Here we have our pears reserved. They're nice and chilled now. Been in the refrigerator for a while. I'm just going to simply take this over and pinch them in. Gives a nice rustic look. We're not looking for it to always stay together. We just want to create a nice little home for the galette to live in, or for the pear to live in. This way all the juices won't fall out. Simply drop them in the center. Up a little bit, and that's it. I'm going to take it just like this, put it in the oven. So now we're going to finish our plate of our poached pear, and that's it. Alright, our pear has been in the oven for several hours now, and you can see it's kind of glistening, little sugar glaze on top. We've got our Zambadaleone sauce. I'm just putting a little dollop of it on the bottom of the plate. Moving the poached pear dessert on top of it. And we're going to finish the plate with a little toffee sauce. Nice and buttery. Beautiful golden colors. And I've got some beautiful little candied pecans that I did the other day. Well, this is one of our desserts for Valentine's Day. If you guys come in and have it.